Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. This relationship story is about OP who doesn't want to hang out with her coworker outside of work because her husband's a hot mess. Savor the tea. So this is between myself, my husband Chris, my coworker Trisha, and her husband Alex. Basically, I have this coworker Trisha whom I've known for 3 years. This is a remote workplace, so our relationship has always been pretty good, but mostly over Slack and Zoom. I live in a destination area, and this past year, Trish said she wanted to come visit my husband and I with her husband. Trisha knows I'm a very outside-oriented person, and most people who visit us want to go skiing or hiking or something like that. So we tentatively set a date in May. The day they came out, shortly after arriving, she tells me her husband Alex just quit his job and is in a bad mood. Not a problem. My husband and I do our best to be good hosts. We invite Trish and Alex to go to a nearby town where there's some other things to do. Trish comes, Alex stays at our house, alone, which we weren't totally comfortable with, but we were trying to be accommodating. This pattern continues the whole time they're here. We go do something, Alex refuses to participate. When we did spend time in the house, Alex had no idea how to function without Trish showing him how to do basic things, like how to get water from our sink. And he wouldn't participate in conversation, preferring to play games on his laptop. When he did decide to participate, his jokes were mean or overly sexual and directed at me. The day they were set to leave, he misplaced something and lost it over it, even though Trish had a backup for the item. He yelled at Trish in front of my house and then sat in their car and refused to talk to me while he expected Trish to search through their bags alone. Trish was crying. Alex refused to come in, and it was just really uncomfy overall. Alex finally came back in. I tried to calm him down, and then he yelled at me before slamming my door and leaving. Trish gathered their stuff and went with him. So yeah, that was a horrible visit, but I was willing to entertain that maybe Alex had just had a bad day. We made plans for them to come one more time in the last week. I told Trish we were looking forward to seeing them, but that I needed them to stay somewhere else this time since our house is small and it was really compressed. At this point, my husband Chris hates Alex for yelling at Trish in front of our house and having a poor attitude during the whole visit. I tell Trish we want to have a fresh start, but we need some space to do it, but we are so looking forward to seeing them. Well, last week happens and they arrive and message me while I'm in a meeting. I tell them to check into their hotel and we'll connect after my meeting. Then suddenly, Trish starts blowing up my phone and demanding I leave the meeting to come talk to her. So I leave the meeting and go see her. Trish tells me she thought they were going to stay with us, and Alex looks mad. I show her our texts and remind her I'd specifically said they couldn't stay with us. Trish gets a hotel room for the night, and the next day they're like, let's go hiking. So I take them on a small hike, and the whole time they're hounding me about will I change my mind and can't they stay with us? Alex is doing the thing again where he yells at Trish every time I'm out of sight, and at this point, I'm wondering what the F I'm going to do about this. I told Chris I needed backup, and he reiterated to Alex that they wouldn't be able to stay here. I offered to take them camping in the back country since I have extra gear. I'm a guide, and we can still have a ton of fun in the back country. Alex refuses. Trish tries to tell him it would be fun. Ultimately, they ended up leaving. Trish cried again before they left. I feel bad for Trish at this point because I think it's pretty clear she's in an abusive relationship. Not just from this, but she tells me Alex refuses to get a job, won't go to therapy, and blames her or anyone else for any difficult emotions he's experiencing, but he refuses to confront those feelings or discuss them with anyone. I don't know what to do though, because I have zero desire to hang out with them ever again. They're like, third time's a charm, next time will be better, and I'm really uninterested in seeing Alex at any point, and my husband is very close to hating Alex for how he treats Trish. What's the easiest way to disengage from this? I still need to talk to Trish for work, and I want to support her as much as I can, but I really don't think my husband or I can bear to be around Alex. Any ideas on how to politely disengage and decline any future them inviting themselves out situations? Edit. This is less of a big deal, but another thing I've noticed is within work, Trish started to claim knowledge she doesn't have. For example, she'll say, I know X, Y, and Z about guiding, and if I ask her about it and say, can you explain X to me? She can't at all. This is frustrating for me because she doesn't need to be faking this at all. Our workplace is very pro-learning, and she wouldn't be in trouble for saying, I don't know, but I'll find out or ask around. But she refuses to do that. She just doubles down on her fake knowledge that she can't back up. Not only is this unprofessional, but it's also kind of dangerous, especially when it comes to resilient rope systems and knowing how to actually rig things. Again, I would bet this is more symptomatic of her marriage and how she's treated by Alex, but it still creates a professional problem for me that's difficult to solve. Edit 2. Because a couple of people have mentioned it, I did tell Trish after visit number 1 that Alex was behaving in abusive ways, and even if he was depressed, it didn't make it okay. She told me this confirmed what her therapist had been telling her, but that Alex could get better and she wants to support him in doing that. So now he's unemployed, she's the only one working, and Alex games the day away while Trish works. He isn't seeing a therapist yet, and who knows when that'll change or if it will. This story is a real doozy. I mean, what kind of a maniac behaves like that in someone else's home? Let's just call it what it is. Alex is a controlling, abusive, entitled little brat who needs to grow up and take responsibility for his own emotions. And Trish, my goodness, it sounds like she's really in a tough spot. She needs to get out of that relationship ASAP. As for OP, you sound like you're in a tough spot too. It sounds like you really don't want to hang out with these people, and who can blame you? But you also don't want to jeopardize your working relationship with Trish. So what do? I'll tell you what you do. You set some boundaries and you stick to them. First and foremost, you need to be clear with Trish that you don't want to hang out with Alex anymore. You can be gentle but firm. Tell her that you value your friendship with her, but you can't tolerate the way Alex behaves. Let her know that you're there for her if she needs support, but that you can't be around him. Secondly, you need to be clear with Alex that he's not welcome in your home. You can tell him that you don't appreciate the way he behaved during their last visit and that you can't have him stay with you again. If he tries to push back or argue, just stick to your guns. Be polite but firm and don't engage in a debate. Finally, be prepared to enforce those boundaries. If Trish tries to bring Alex around, or if Alex tries to come to your home uninvited, you need to be ready to say no. It might be uncomfortable, but it's important that you stand up for yourself and protect your boundaries. You need to protect yourself. You can be there for Trish and support her through this tough time, but you don't have to put up with Alex's bad behavior. Set your boundaries, stick to them, and be prepared to enforce them. This relationship is about OP, whose fiancé tells her she wants to have a platonic relationship. Savor the tea. I, 31 female, have been with my fiancé, 33 female, for about 3.5 years. Things have been a bit tense lately. My job is very stressful, having just moved into a senior management position this year. My fiancé, on the other hand, is doing great at the moment. She only works part-time as a barista, but has recently gone back to study and is the most motivated I've ever seen her. She's faced huge childhood trauma and the fallout from that. I've been there for her through periods of severe depression. In the past 6 months, she's been diagnosed with ADHD, and getting medicated for that has changed her life. It's been a joy to see her really come into her own after sticking with her through some really tough times. In the past couple of months, she's really gotten into a spiritual journey, not identifying with the ego and attachments. I myself am now facing some tough times, but I feel like she's not 100% there for me in the way you'd expect your future life partner to be. Side note, we haven't had sex in months. She doesn't feel like being touched at the moment. As a result of all this, I was feeling very vulnerable and asked her, "Are we good?" She responded that it wasn't the best time to have big convos now while I'm depressed and reactive with emotions. I'm crying a lot, and she said I needed to work on myself, meditate more, and suggested we see a couples counselor next month. Okay, I thought, fair enough. I could sense her drifting away, and when she decided to buy her own second-hand car with the help of her ex, I was a little sus on it. So I did something I'm not proud of. I snooped. I found out that she said, I need to sort logistics now. And then he said, any other logistics I can help with? She replied, a place to rent/flatmate. I also saw she had recently reactivated Bumble. When I confronted her, the bomb was dropped. She told me that she doesn't have romantic attraction. She didn't use this word, but aromantic seems to fit, and is basically asexual, but when there is sexual attraction, it's only attracted to men. She's just figured this out for herself. She's just not actually attracted to women. She had downloaded Bumble to remind herself how gross men are. She says she'd never live with or be in a relationship with one, but she says sexually she needs masculine energy, not feminine, but then reiterated she doesn't really have sexual needs. She says when we met and fell in love, it was her ADHD brain loving the newness of it, being with a woman. She says she wants to stay with me and continue building our life together, but the choice is mine, and asked, can I be in a life partnership that's platonic? She apologized for the flatmate joke with her ex and said she would never cheat on me. Marriage is off the table now. She's since decided she doesn't believe in that either, but she seems very open to still spending life together, albeit in a very non-traditional way. She's happy for me to open the relationship to get physical intimacy elsewhere. She says she deeply loves me, but not in a romantic way, and that she doesn't think she'll feel like that towards anyone in this lifetime. This is fresh. It happened last night, and I'm still trying to comprehend. I feel extraordinarily sad, confused, embarrassed, and somewhat betrayed. It feels like nearly 4 years of my life wasted in a pretty critical time. If I were to want a family, unsure if I do due to climate concerns, but I'm verging on 32 now and looking down the barrel of starting all over again. I don't want to start all over again. When times were better, we have so much fun. I've never been more myself with any other person before. We live together. Our finances are very much intertwined, and her 9-year-old son calls me stepmom. I thought this was my little family for life. I'm heartbroken and my head is spinning. I guess it's my call to make if we break up or not, which also kind of sucks in my opinion. She's making a couples counseling appointment ASAP. She wants to try and make this work. I just don't know. I love her so much, but maybe I deserve better. Any advice, internet friends? Oh boy, this is a lot to take in. I can feel your pain and confusion through your words, OP. It's understandable to feel heartbroken and betrayed in this situation. You've invested so much time and love into this relationship, and it's natural to feel like it's all been for nothing. But let's take a step back for a moment. Your fiancé has been dealing with a lot, from childhood trauma to mental health issues. She's recently discovered that she's aromantic and asexual, and that's a huge realization to come to terms with. It sounds like she's being honest with you about her feelings and her needs, even though it's difficult and painful for both of you. It's important to remember that no one is at fault here. You both deserve love and happiness, even if that means going your separate ways. It's okay to mourn the future you thought you had together, but it's also okay to embrace a new future, one that may not involve marriage or traditional monogamy. Couples counseling is a great first step, and I encourage you to be open and honest in those sessions. Take some time to think about what you want and need from a relationship and communicate that to your fiancé. It's possible that you can find a way to make this work, but it may require some creativity and compromise. Remember, you deserve to be happy and fulfilled in your relationships. It may be scary to think about starting over, but it's better than staying in a relationship that doesn't meet your needs. Trust your instincts and take care of yourself. You'll get through this one step at a time. This relationship story is about OP, who noticed that his wife has been avoiding their friend, but saying there's nothing wrong. Savor the tea. My wife is avoiding a friend and not making eye contact with him anymore. She's saying there's nothing wrong. We'd met him at another friend's wedding. We hit it off and often went with him and his wife for long drives and double dates. For the last month, my wife has been saying no to any plans with them. Then we met at a housewarming party, sort of, and she was still avoiding them. She did talk to the wife for a bit. He and her barely looked at each other in the eye. I'm now overthinking all their previous conversations and meets. She claims nothing's wrong and she had nothing to talk to him about the other night. I'm going crazy. Edit. I had to go snooping around her closet and drawers and found some used perfumes which I don't seem to recall. Also, adders which she knows I don't like and hence don't wear around me. She has 2 unique house keys that I don't recognize. Nothing else is suspicious. Your wife is clearly avoiding this friend for some reason, and now you're overthinking everything that's ever happened between them. And then you go snooping through her closet and drawers? Not cool, dude. But let's focus on the issue at hand. It sounds like your wife might be hiding something from you, and that's why she's avoiding this friend. Maybe she's had a disagreement with him, or maybe there's some kind of attraction there that she's trying to avoid. Either way, she's not being honest with you, and that's a problem. You need to have an open and honest conversation with your wife about what's going on. Ask her why she's been avoiding this friend and see if she's willing to tell you the truth. And as for the perfumes and keys you found, don't jump to conclusions. There could be perfectly innocent explanation for those things. Ultimately, you need to trust your wife and work through this issue together. If you can't trust her, then that's a bigger problem that you need to address. But don't let your insecurities and overthinking ruin your relationship. Talk to your wife, listen to what she has to say, and work through this together. This relationship story is about OP who has a crush on his friend's cousin. Savor the tea. I, 28 male, have a crush on my friend's cousin, 26 female. The friend's cousin said she likes me too and wants to hang out. I just found out that my friend won't let her because my friend has a crush on me. I have no feelings for my friend. How do I handle this? My friend, let's call her Meg, has been bringing her cousin around to hang out with our friend group for the last couple of months. Every time the cousin comes to hang out, we spark great chemistry and always end up talking all night. One night, we were out and eventually we were kissing. After that night, I decided to ask the cousin to hang out, but she told me she couldn't because of work. Flashback to a few days ago, and the cousin comes to hang out again. Again, great chemistry, and we talked non-stop. She told me to text her that night to hang out sometime. So the next day I texted her to hang out, but again she said that she couldn't because she was busy with work. Now comes in my friend Meg and my best friend, let's call her Lisa. My best friend Lisa informed me that the cousin talked to her the last night we all hung out. The cousin told my friend Lisa that she likes me and wants to hang out but can't because her cousin Meg has a crush on me. I've known Meg for a very long time and no one has ever known in the friend group that she liked me. I didn't expect this as I don't have any romantic feelings toward her at all and feel like I barely even talk to her. I want to go on a date with the cousin, but now it's all messed up because the cousin is scared to go on a date with me because she doesn't want to upset Meg, her cousin, my friend. I decided to stop asking the cousin to hang out as I realized her 2 excuses of having to work was said because she's worried to hang out with me since her cousin likes me. How do I handle this? I really like this girl and I can tell she really likes me, but there's a big roadblock in the way of my friend having a crush on me. Oh boy, what a sticky situation. You've got yourself caught in a love triangle with your friend and her cousin. It sounds like you really like this girl and she likes you too, but you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. First things first, you need to have an honest conversation with Meg. Let her know that you value her as a friend, but you don't have any romantic feelings for her. Tell her that you're interested in her cousin and would like to pursue a relationship with her, but you don't want to cause any drama within the friend group. As for the cousin, you need to give her some space and time to sort out her feelings. Let her know that you understand the situation and that you don't want to put her in an uncomfortable position. If she decides that she wants to pursue a relationship with you, then you can take it from there. Just remember, communication is key in any relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. Be honest and upfront with your friends and the cousin, and hopefully, everyone can come to a mutual understanding. Good luck!
What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this story and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.